the bigger problem I'd have with Eric Ten Hag than the other managers is that when you had sort of Jose and Louis van Gaal, they still played their way, but the supporters didn't like it. It wasn't Manchester United's way. Ollie came in, obviously wasn't a top-level manager. This guy's coming from Ajax, and because of that football club, you'd automatically associate that with playing a certain style of football. You can see those repeated patterns throughout a game. That's the bigger worry for me, because of Eric Ten Hag and what his past has been, that the performances are as bad as they are. I mean, it's really shocking when you sort of see them trying to build up from the back, play through midfield, and you see the other top teams do that. They're a million miles away from it.
There was a time a few years ago where I thought, to be fair, there were some pretty poor characters in the dressing room that were here for basically the paycheck and just using the club. I don't think we've got that in this changing room at all, to be honest with you, at Manchester United. The sad thing is about this group is I think actually probably they're really good lads who want to do well. But when I see videos of McTominay like on social media about 4 or 5 weeks ago and fans are accusing him of not running back, that's just the weight of the world on his shoulders. That's not a lack of effort. I know you disagree with me on this, Roy. But honestly, when you are in a sort of a heavy-legged world, the world's on your shoulders, the pressure of the club and the scale of it, that's what I think these players are suffering from, not through any lack of effort or desire.
That's part of the package, Gary. That's part of the package. Listen, we got stick when we played for Man United. Your memory plays tricks on you. We used to get stick and we were winning stuff. So that's part of the package of playing for Man United. That courage, that bravery, wanting the ball when you don't want it. I didn't see that. I'm not saying these are a bad group of players, but don't go down the road. They're all great lads either. You love that one as well. Everyone's a great lad. But what we saw today in the second half, we're talking about even when United were getting pulled all over the place. I'm still looking for 1 or 2 senior players to start pulling people back in. Maguire at the back, Johnny Evans, the 2 centre-halves, for example, 2 experienced players, played hundreds and hundreds of games, experienced international players. So when United were getting run ragged, even for the second, just sit in. I don't understand that bit where you just go and get lads in and go, listen, for the next 5-10 minutes, we need to sit in. United they sat in pretty well in the first half, where they were pretty solid. OK, they weren't really a threat going forward. But where's that experience from these so-called characters of these experienced players?
He sat in the first half, and it looks like Eric Ten Hag's gone in at half-time and thought the way forward in this match was to be more attacking and go for it a little bit.
Well, he gambled too early.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody in the stadium thought that was the right thing to do. The thing to do was to stay in the game at 1-0, probably with 15 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go, and then maybe have a little pop at them like they did last year. They scored in the 78th minute last year, in the 82nd minute. So I think, for me, he went too early, opened his midfield up and then got exposed. And at half-time, when I saw that substitution, I thought, is he injured, Amrabat? I'm sort of like, he must be injured because he can't have come off. He wasn't brilliant first half, don't get me wrong, but him in there potentially alongside McTominay, with maybe Bruno coming off the wing into the midfield, that would have been still as solid, and I thought we still would have been okay. But as soon as McTominay went in there alongside Eriksen, I just thought it just looked, and McTominay then started having to get the ball off his back 4, which he's already been told he's not good enough to do that because Eric Ten Hag wanted rid of him in the summer. Where McTominay has got some freedom in the last few weeks is that he just left him up front, being almost like a centre forward, and going running into the box, and he's done all right.
But a lot of times we've said recently, but United, and not just against Man City, sit in and play on the counter-attack. As if Man United they're so far behind the other teams, they're happy just to sit in. Yeah. But you still expect more from Manchester United. It is Man City. Man City are a brilliant team, another level up, but you're still Man United. You still have to stick your chest out and go, listen, we'll try and take you on one way or the other. Instead, they just got weaker and weaker. Again, the big worry for me today is physically, United look so off it, particularly second half. And I know we've had many conversations, when you're up against Man City, they do tire out and they pull you left and right, but that's where you have your experienced players say, let's sit in, let's be solid for the next few minutes, and yeah, we can have a go at them. But when we do get it, we talk about the great players at Man United, show that courage when you're in possession, instead of giving away cheaply. We talk about the captaincy again today, even Rashford, body language from a player from Man United at home in a derby game.
That back 4 that started today, I think, was... I mean, Dalot was brought in by Jose Mourinho, was he not? Was he?
Yeah.
I mean, Lindelof was brought in by Jose Mourinho, wasn't he?
Well, this is the issue.
But they've all been brought in by somebody.
No, but what I mean is, that's not a back...
They're brought in by different managers.
None of those
players.
We're still watching the same players that we've actually already previously, 3 years ago, like Martial up front. We're still watching the same players that 4 years ago we thought weren't good enough then. We're still watching them play.
But also, I want to get back to Eric Ten Hag. That's also his job as a manager. People always talk about your signings. I get that. Who's he actually improved who was already here? No, he's right. When you come into a club, there's going to be different players signed by different people. A manager's job is to come in and improve a lot of those players.
Yeah, just have a sip of water and take
Take
a moment. Don't throw it at yourself.
It's not water.
But look, Gary makes the point about Ten Hag is that changing him wouldn't necessarily fix what's wrong at Man United. Would you be in agreement with that?
70-odd games as a manager? Yeah. No, I'll argue all day about. I'll obviously try and defend managers. He's got to be given more time.
Definitely.
It's like we're defending Ollie again here, isn't it? 75 games. But the problem is for the managers, I think he still wouldn't have a clue what his best starting team is. OK, he's got injuries, but I'd say his head is spinning with the problems he got at Man United. Where do you start? Where do you finish? From the goalkeeper to the Maguire situation. Johnny Evans is playing tonight. They don't score enough goals. Defensively, physically, they look all over the place. Oh, he'll be having a sleepless night tonight.
Towards Eric Ten Hag will begin, and they're going to begin now. Is he the right man, Robbie Mustoe?
Blimey. You know what? It's not looking like he is. And this is off the back of last year when we are the same people saying they've got a good manager now. It's going in the right direction. They win the League Cup. They get to the FA Cup final. They finish third place. And this season, they have that kind of progression where we're like, OK, they can forget about firing managers, stick with this guy, and hopefully the signings will come together and they'll get better. It's just bewildering how far away they are from Man City right now. They've gone backwards from last year. So then, you know, Lee Dixon and us and Graham Rousseau and everybody else starts to think, well, is he the right guy? And when you get decisions made in terms of the lineup today, it's like, wow, you are scratching your head, like, what's he trying to do? To be fair, he tried something different tactically with he had a different system with the ball, without the ball. It didn't really work. There was a couple of moments they had in terms of transition going forward. I look at the injury list, and yeah, there's some injuries there, by the way, but really in terms of players that would get in the side straight away, Lisandro Martinez, good defender, good signing. He would definitely play back there. And Luke Shaw. I mean, Casemiro's out. Is he kind of up to it nowadays? So it's only a couple of players, Rebecca, really. So why are they so far away? I am going to say it again, but I'm fed up of saying it. Everything wants tearing down in the football side of the football club. The football side, director of football, it was Ed Woodward, it's John Murtagh. Everything needs looking at again. Until that happens, it's going to be difficult for any manager.
Just a side note, you mentioned Casemiro and you say, you know, is he up to it anymore? He signed a 4-year contract at Manchester United on a fortune, and he's only into season 2, and already you're not the only one questioning whether or not he is still up to it. Tactically, before the game, he said, this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for tactics. In-game management as well. Many people questioning some of his substitutions, taking off Højlund to Booze at Old Trafford, leaving the likes of Rashford on, waiting right till the end to put on 2 attackers in Anthony and Anthony Martial. Your thoughts, Rob?
A bad day for Eric Ten Hag, Rebecca. He tried something, it didn't work. The problem he's got is that the Manchester derby has become the Manchester mismatch. It's no longer competitive. We remember back in the days when Sir Alex Ferguson was there, when this derby, there was only ever one outcome, and United were going to win. There's only ever one outcome now, and City are going to win. And that's the problem he has now. Rob's talked about the players that are playing and not playing, and tactically how you set up. Most of the players are his choices. Most of the players that are not delivering are his choices. Now, I look at the top 8 teams in the league, Rebecca, where Manchester United sit 8th at the moment. Of all those teams, Manchester United play the worst football. There's no style, there's no structure. Manchester United have a -5 goal difference.
Same as Palace, that's same as Crystal Palace.
Everton have a -4 goal difference. So something's not going right. Now, I would say, OK, certain things, you know, the club at the moment and the sale and the ownership. Name me one Manchester United player who's playing well. Name me one who you say is, unfortunately.
Got a couple of goals in midfield.
Banana has moments. Højlund has moments, but he still hasn't scored a Premier League goal.
So Manchester United are a moments team now.
Correct. And if they, OK, devil's advocate, let's say they do fire Eric Ten Hag. Who wants the job of all of Eric Ten Hag's players, as Robbie just said?
It's interesting, Rebecca. Yes, it's a great question. But there is somebody out there that could help. There probably is. When you look at the goings-on at Tottenham Hotspur, they plucked a guy Ange Postecoglou, and it was the right guy, and it's a dream ticket, and he's changed it.
But is the structure above him better? Is the structure above Postecoglou better than it is at United?
I don't know if it is.
But then you have to work
my
at it.
point is, there probably is the ideal guy somewhere, Rebecca, somewhere. Roberto De Zerbi was the right guy at Brighton. He's done an amazing job. Is it reminiscent of like the mid-90s with Sir Alex Ferguson, where he's tore up the club, they got the right guy in, and he steadily starts to rebuild this team?
Wasn't this what Ten Hag was supposed to be, wasn't it?
Well, maybe he is the right guy. And listen, we're not picking from a lot of options here, but maybe there is somebody out there that can get this club by the scruff of the neck. And by the way, I'm pessimistically thinking that ownership's not going to be any improvement in terms of the club structure and the recruitment. But maybe there's a guy out there, a manager, that can somehow, at this huge club with big expectation, do a better job and get more out of a squad.
Just one more point I want to make, because you were both talking about it while we were watching the closing stages, and John and Lee were talking about it. Mason Mount.
Yeah.
They bought him in the summer. They really went after him. He was not a player that was not wanted by any others. Other clubs wanted him, but they absolutely went for him when arguably they didn't need him. Is he everything, basically, that is Manchester United right now in one player?
A great example of the poor recruitment that's caused the team a problem. Now, I have a little sympathy for Mason Mount because he's coming into a team, Rebecca, with no structure, with no style of play. And so he can't find himself. He doesn't know his position. He doesn't know when he's attacking. He doesn't know when he's defending. He doesn't know when he's pressing. He needs a structure to get the best from himself, as many other players do.
It's another Ten Hag thing, really.
Structures come from the manager.
I mean, look at some of the players, again, at Tottenham that were out of the picture with the previous managers have come in and looked like, wow, I didn't know this guy could do this. Mason Mount can do it. It's up to Erik Ten Hag to find the right place and the right structure to get the best out of him. I'm not sure putting him on the bench in a game like this and playing Christian Eriksen and a couple of others that made the side is the best way of trying to improve this team.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.
Well, we'll talk about that bigger picture, about the three games that Manchester United have played against City in the calendar year. But in terms of Ten Hag's assessment of this game, where he said it was a decent first half, but he felt he needed to maybe use his bench and get a bit more attacking power on the pitch. Do you think that was the right assessment? Do you agree with it? Do you agree with the decision, the tactical decisions?
I think I agree with what he said about the fact the first half wasn't that bad, and I thought it was OK, and I thought the defensive side of things were fine, and City did struggled to create openings, and they got the goal, which I think was a soft penalty personally, but it is what it is. But I was asking the question as soon as the substitution was made. When I saw McTominay alongside Eriksen in midfield, I thought that was brave, if not a little bit reckless. I didn't think it would work, and I thought Amrabat must have been injured, but we've just had it confirmed to us that he wasn't injured. So I don't think it was a great day for his substitutions. I think his substitutions last season were amazing, and every time he made substitutions, it improved the team's performance. I thought today, actually, the substitutions made the team's performance worse and opened them up more. So I didn't think it was a great day, but I'm in the camp of, I think I've seen this now 4 or 5 managers down the line of basically second season, third season where they really struggle. And we end up rinse, repeat. Exactly the same things happen again, where we start talking about the same stuff. No one's been able to unlock Manchester City. The performances of Manchester United and City have not been good. They haven't been good. I was at the cup final, sat there with 90,000 other people. The performance wasn't good by Manchester United. That performance in the second half today, to be honest with you, was appalling. And to be fair, I think this, Amrabat coming off emptied midfield. I don't think that was the right assessment of that particular performance. But my anger isn't with Erik Ten Hag. I don't believe he's the fundamental cause of this problem.
I get what you're saying in terms of, rinse, repeat, different managers and stuff like that. But we're now into his second season. And we'd all say, it went well last season from where Manchester United were. But none of us here can still explain what Manchester United try to do in terms of how they play. He's been here now, nearly 18 months. We've seen Unai Emery come in at Aston Villa. We've seen Postecoglou come in now at Tottenham in a very short space of time. Now, that doesn't mean you win every week, but when you go to the games, you know what you're going to see. We still don't know what you're going to see with Manchester United. You tell me how they play with the ball.
No, Karen, and look, to be honest with you, I can't disagree with you. Those managers that you're talking about coming into stable environments they've currently got over their heads a guy all over the news going to own 25% that's going to basically come out and whine.
Gary,
Why will you not listen?
What?
Why do I have to listen to you but you won't listen to me?
Come on.
Right. So basically, you imagine you're in a business, you're in a football club, and the news is that there's a guy going to come in and basically wipe out the whole football department. Have you imagine what's going on inside that football department this moment in time, in and around Erik ten Hag? It is toxic and embedded negativity. They all think they're all going to lose their jobs. I know you can say carry on with it, they're professional, but you imagine what's happening. Jim Ratcliffe's going to come in with Dave Brailsford, they're going to sweep out the football department, they're all going to get moved away. That's what's happening. And I honestly believe this toxicity that exists at this club, and has done for years, by the way, it just eats alive every manager that comes and every player that comes.
Okay.
So Harry Maguire was going to go to Manchester City, Mason Mount was going to go to Liverpool. They come here and it's a graveyard for them. Are we going to keep blaming the kids in the class?
No,
are we going to blame the head teacher?
Okay, so we can't analyse anything Erik ten Hag does or any performance from Manchester United.
I've just said substitutions were poor today.
Okay, but what I'm saying is everything goes back to the ownership. Of course, it's not right the supporters are not happy, but what you're talking about is a style of football. What he's doing on the training pitch Monday to Friday every day has got nothing to do with Jim Ratcliffe coming in. What does he want those players to do? Right. When they're building up from the back, and we see every top team in the league do it, what are Manchester United trying to do with the ball? They're playing underdog football, and they have done since he come in. Gary, let me finish. You just spoke before. They play counter-attack, and they play a lot of long balls. No other top team plays like that. That's got nothing to do with what's going on above him. What is he doing on the training pitch? Players he brings in, and what's he asking the team to do?
Karen,
you can't see it.
Karen, I completely agree with you. They've allowed another manager to dictate policy and the tail wag the dog on recruitment. They brought 8 players in from basically a league that Erik ten Hag thinks he trusts players. And they did the same with Ole, the same with Jose, the same with Louis van Gaal. The problems are above it. I'm not saying that he's not culpable for the mistakes that he's making. He's got injuries to Martinez, who helps him plays out. He's got injuries to Varane, and Varane's only just coming back. So there are issues why he can't play out from the back. He's not got Casemiro in midfield. So he's got 3 players who fundamentally are his connection from defence.
Casemiro's one of the worst decisions they made.
No, what I'm saying to you is those players, though, help him play from the back. Well, obviously, I don't like the football at all. I have no idea what the repeated patterns are that they're trying to put in place. But the bigger picture of Manchester United is that we've seen great managers with great reputations and great players with great reputations come here and just die in front of our eyes. Why is that? How do we answer that question?
Do you know how Erik ten Hag is trying to play at Manchester United?
No, not really. I'd have to agree with what's been said. It's obviously a difficult watch. It's been a struggle. Obviously, the expectations last year was can he get in the hands of the trophy and get top 4, which he managed to do. But this year has definitely been a problem. Again, we go back to recruitment's huge at a football club. Of course it is. And there's too many players who've come to the club over the last 18 months, 2 years, who've not been good enough. And obviously, we're well aware that Man United, whatever the price involved, United always seem to have to pay over the top, which seems to be part of the package. The concern is obviously Ten Hag's brought players in that he's obviously worked with, and you think you'd know them a bit better and their characters, but they've come to Man United and it just feels a bit too much for some of them. We can analyse the game today in terms of the physicality, the midfield. They're like children out there. They haven't got that physical presence to get around the park. And too many of the players who've come in for the fees involved haven't done the business.
Just on the point about them being players who've played under Ten Hag and have come from Eredivisie, there are 8 players in that group who have Eredivisie experience, maybe haven't come directly from there, but that has been part of their football progress.
That goes back to what Gary said before, and he's right. Sometimes when we talk about the top at Manchester United, I think there's sometimes this feeling around Manchester United that the manager doesn't get what he wants. Gary's right. I think the manager get too much power. What's going to happen when Erik ten Hag moves on? You've still got, all that sort of group of players. They're sort of embedded with him. And when I say I'm more critical of the managers, I go back to last summer. And I know Casemiro did well at times last season, but I go back to that. Signing him and Eriksen was not things that a top football club in their position should be doing. They're at the end of their careers. They've had to replace them already with Mason Mount and Amrabat, and we're questioning whether they're good enough. So 12 months later, they're replacing players they bought 12 months before. That's just not joined up thinking at a top football club.
I think when things aren't right at a club, I think one bad decision seems to follow another. We've seen it with other clubs. And Man United were doing it great. Maybe if you look back 10, 15 years ago, and they would get a lot of credit for it. Obviously, the manager there, Ferguson, you David Gill, who were getting a lot of plaudits for the structure of the club. But now it seems to be, obviously, chaos. Obviously at board level, which there is, we know, and they're taking that onto the pitch.
Go on.
Sorry, mate. What about the decision? I feel like I'm just attacking Erik ten Hag, but a big decision he's made. Who's made captain? Bruno Fernandes should be a captain. We sat here with 2 Manchester United captains.
The
Bruno
first thing
Fernandes
I would do
is a captain for Manchester United.
After today, I haven't watched him again. Obviously, I would definitely take the captaincy off him, 100%. I know it's a big decision, obviously, to change the captaincy with Maguire. But Fernandes is not captain material. I think he's a talented player, no doubt about it. But what I saw today with him again, I know we've discussed this many times before, was at Liverpool last year. His whinging, his moaning, his throwing his arms up in the air constantly. It really isn't acceptable. What we saw today, I'm thinking, I would take that off him. Because I think you have to start somewhere. You're talking about where do you make change? You're talking about board level, managers. I would start at that because the manager is capable of doing that. And hold his hand up and say, listen, I got it wrong. Fernandes is a brilliant footballer. But in terms of captain material, he's the opposite to what I would want in a captain.
I think it all goes back to what Cara said, is how Man United going to play. We've seen the signings there. So, and I don't want to bring City into this, but Man City signed players for a style of play. The players that we've seen that Man United have signed, we don't know where they're going to fit in. So you've got Højlund, who's an excellent footballer, but he's playing with wingers who want to come inside and shoot. So how is he supposed to get the chemistry with the players he has alongside him? Then you go into midfield, which the guys have talked about. Are you playing with 2 holders? Are you playing with 1? If a sub comes in, does he know what job to do? And then you look at the back 4. It was always going to be difficult for Man United today because of the back 4. Evans is similar to my age, obviously coming from Leicester. He's had his injuries. And I just think for Man United to be in this position now, after money they have spent, it doesn't matter. You can have whatever manager you want. You need to have...
You know, Mike, you make a good point. I think if you come watch Man United today, we've obviously come to you do not know what you're going to get with Man United. And that's all right if you're a small club. You turn up at United, they've won the last few games. OK, they get out of jail. Their record, their goals for and against, the players who are coming in, they're not hitting the ground running. Players are coming in with injuries. It seems like whoever's making decisions in the background with their manager, they're getting it wrong at the moment, and they're big mistakes.
It's just that Micah says he's the same age as Johnny Evans. You must have been a pundit for about 15 years. Oh, you were 35?
Well done. You haven't ghosted in a game because you've had a penalty. You've been shit so far. This is the first time I've saw you, mate, to be fair. First time I've saw that bloody top knot, bell end.
Højlund pulling back Rodri. No fucking way, you can't give this one. He's fallen down like a sack of shit. Højlund's barely touched him, ref. What are you doing? What are you looking at, ref? Rodri's gone down like a sack of shit. You can't give this. That's not a penalty. No way. What you doing, ref? What you doing, ref? Oh, you fucking dick. He's given the fucking pen. Against Manchester United here, Rasmus Højlund for his arm around, fucking hell, for his arm around Rodri, guys. The referee's giving it.
Oh, he's bloody giving it. What a tosser. What an absolute tosser. You can't give a penalty for that. He's never getting it. He's never getting it. You can't give a penalty for that. His mum doesn't do his hair because he ain't bloody got any. Shaves his hair off like a skinhead. He thinks he's fucking Phil Mitchell. Hard man now. Oh my God, I can't believe it. He's so soft. He's never getting on the end of the ball. He's never getting on the end of the cross. How can you give a penalty for that? How is that a bloody penalty? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I cannot. In a game of this magnitude, how?
Rasmus Højlund didn't get a penalty for the exact same thing about 3 weeks ago. Ah, you're a fucking joke of a referee. This game, boy, I swear to God, this fucking game is ruined. So it is. It's absolutely ruined. Rasmus Højlund has a challenge on him against Arsenal that's worse than that 3 or 4 weeks ago, and there was not even a VAR check on it. And now something that's nowhere near as much contact, it's given as a penalty to City. It's a fucking disgrace.
He just turned the game around.
How soft is that? Yeah, as a baby's fucking butt. How soft is that? Like, honestly, I'm angry.
Take this shit out of the game, bro. This VAR bullshit, take it out of the game, bro. Take this shit out of the game, man. This happens every game. We're gonna get the same penalty for Gabriel on Højlund. But they're doing a VAR check for this. So every set piece we get, if someone pulls one of my players, I want a penalty. I know it's going to happen about 5 more times.
Oh, Højlund! Oh my God, man! Jesus! I mean, what? There's one guy to bloody mark, man. Let me take this fucking biscuit out of my mouth. There's one guy to mark. How can you not mark? How can you not mark bloody Haaland? The one guy that you need to bloody mark, it's Haaland, and you don't bloody mark him. Look at this. He drifts. Johnny Evans. It's Johnny Evans, man. He's on the back stick. Nobody's there. It's bloody Haaland, man. It's bloody Haaland. How can you not mark Haaland?
To the back post, it's 2-0. I mean, Scott McTominay. This is all on Scott McTominay. Erling Haaland has scored. It's 2-0. This is all on Scott McTominay. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He is fucking useless. You can see so clearly the run of Bernardo Silva on the overlap. And he doesn't track the run. He's so slow to tracking the run. It's absolutely terrible. So it is by Scott McTominay. Fuck's sake. Alvarez with a crossfield ball. Bruno does well to get out initially to Jack Grealish. And Bernardo Silva is away, he's on the outside. And Scott McTominay, look, you fucking dickhead. Just lets him run down the line and get a free header or free cross into the box. And Haaland is free on his own at the back post. 2-0. That's game over. Fucking Scott McTominay. Just fuck off somewhere else.
It's 2-0. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. What is it about our mentality in the second half? What a joke. What an absolute joke. Straight away at the start of the second half. What's going on with this bloody football club? All right, there's been an injustice around the penalty, but mark your fucking players. Where's Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire? Why is Erling Haaland free on the back post? What are you doing? It's like leaving your cow with Ronald McDonald. What do you think's going to fucking happen? Mark him up. He's just free. There's nobody near him. Look, Maguire, Evans, just leave him. They both leave him. They're fucking doing. I don't get this. You know what? MUFC used to be our name. You know, proud MUFC. We may as well change it to MILF, MILF. A former great club that everyone likes to still screw.
Too easy for City, this is too easy for City. Haaland at the back post, oh for fuck's sake, mate! They've completely pulled our fucking pants down and inserted one in there, for fuck's sake, guys! Erling Haaland with the header at the back post. He's a free man at the back there, not marked up whatsoever. Too easy for City, that. Loads of space for them just to work it around. Where's the pressing? Where's the fucking hunger and desire from these United players to get that fucking ball from these City wank bags? There isn't any. Look at how easy this is for City. They just pass it through us like we're not even there. Look at this, mate. Harry Houdini defending by United here. Proper garbage, man. Fucking hell, we got David playing at centre-back, mate.
We know that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen. This is what they do.
And
this is what they do.
Listen to me, yeah?
They did this in the first half.
Talking about Amrabat. All you man talking about
They did this in the first half.
CDM on the field, in the field.
No, that's not got to do with
They
Amrabat.
finished the first half with that same move.
No, I know.
They finished the first half with the same move.
They wouldn't have got into the position where they would have been allowed to even score had we had a CDM on a pitch.
Do you think that's... Mate, what do you mean they wouldn't get into that position? He had that chance 3 times in the first half. Yeah, even with the CDM on the pitch.
Cross. Odin. Lindelof, how many times are you going to get caught sleeping on the back post, bro? Bro, they pick this guy out, bro. Look, we put a center back so he can give us more defensive attributes than Reguilon, and he gets caught again, bro. Take this guy out, bro. I hate this guy.
Overlap is Bernardo Silva. Oh my word, it's Haaland. It's 2-0. Flip's sake, man. And that all comes from somebody who just, nobody is marking the overlap. Every single time it's Grealish to Bernardo Silva or Bernardo Silva to Grealish.
3-0. I mean, that is incredible. Rodri, unmarked, has a shot. Erling Haaland picks up the second ball, passes it across the centre of the box. It's 3-0. Where's your fucking win ratio now, Maguire? Come on. Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, Ericsson, McTominay. Yes, we've had a dodgy penalty, but they could have had 5 or 6. You couldn't mark a piece of paper with shitty hands.
Rodri, great save. Haaland is in, rebound, squares it. 3-0. Foden. Tracking your fucking runners. Tracking your runners. You know what I mean? Just tracking your runners. Rodri has all the time in the world to square up for a shot on the edge of the box. With his left foot. Onana makes another really good save. He's been really good tonight, Onana. It's palmed out to the side. Who's there? Unmarked. Haaland.
It's another great save by Andre Onana. Haaland comes in and it's me. Oh, fucking hell, mate. And there it is. It's 3-0. The ball played to the back post where Phil Foden's waiting for it and he just fucking taps it in, mate. And we've been pumped raw here by Manchester City. It's an embarrassment. 3-0 now. 3-0 now. Could have been 5-6-7-0 without Andre Onana's performance as well. Fucking hell. An embarrassment again, fucking embarrassment again, mate. A complete fucking embarrassment, mate. It's a fucking embarrassment again, mate. What the fuck? 3-0 against these City wankbags. 3-0. 3-0, guys, and it could have been worse. Unfucking believable shit. Unfucking believable shit, mate. You know what I mean? 3-0, man. Tapping at the back stick. Haaland with the assist. Foden with the tap in. Free shot.